Star Trek Original Series rewatch with Pops. This week is Shore Leave. That's right, another strange one. We're going to basically go to amusement park planet, but we don't quite know that. So this one was like kind of like an acid trip. I don't know what was happening most of the time. So, all right, let's talk about it. Well, I am Pops, and yeah, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan, but I'm enjoying rewatching Star Trek Original Series with you guys in production order. This is an episode I do not remember seeing as a kid, don't remember like one lick. This was so strange to me. The Sulu McCoy on there with the giant rabbit jumped out. I was like, what on earth is happening? So you guys will set me straight. I feel like this is just another one of these. Let's rush to get this out, make budget. They filmed it in what, probably a local backlot slash park and maybe some sort of like theme park or something that might have had the tiger or something in it. So there's all sorts of little things I think they did. And again, the creativity that it took to try to produce the content so fast and on budget is really kind of interesting. So let's get to the episode a little bit. So the Enterprise is orbiting, and then we get a quick little thing with a new yeoman that I'm not familiar with, and she's rubbing his back, but he kind of makes a comment that she thinks it's Spock. I was like, that was weird. I did not understand where this levity came from, especially early in the episode. But they're going to basically have this shore leave party go down. And it's basically McCoy and Sulu. They kind of go off in different directions. And in the middle of splitting, then you end up with this sort of like, what is happening kind of stuff. And McCoy doesn't quite know what to make of it. He basically sees the rabbit at first, and then he sees Alice. And I think that's what you see. So it was kind of abrupt and weird. Like I didn't quite know exactly what to take of it. All right, back on the Enterprise, Spock is confronting Kirk because Kirk doesn't want to go on shore leave. He's going to be fine. And Spock uses this sort of like reverse psychology, like basically gives all the data and facts about response time and possible threat to the crew. And basically, it's nothing more than Spock setting up Kirk that he has to admit that he has to go down for shore leave as well and be a part of things. Then we meet a couple of random crewmen who don't really matter as much as I thought they would. I thought they would kind of be played for some dramatic effect in the episode, but really not much comes of that. Basically, again, we have sort of like weird readings and things like that. And there's on the left, there's the extremely pretty and grinning yeoman that's following on this journey. McCoy feels like he's losing it. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, something I saw. They find tracks, everything like that. And basically, it's Alice in Wonderland. Kirk doesn't really know what to make of it either, but they kind of proceed kind of cautiously. And then they randomly hear gunfire and they see this. They see him. Sulu just thought about it. He's a gun aficionado and he found this gun. So it's like, where did this gun come from? So there's all this sort of like randos that put it together. We in the audience are quickly going, it's things that they're thinking about or manifesting, but we don't know why. There are these quick moments, and it was also another one of these things that just happens. They don't really address. It's like, I guess they were trying to convey that they are being monitored by another party, some sort of person running this planet or this place where they boom down. You have these random TV antennas that just kind of pop up. They're there for a minute. I will say, at least the way they do the shot by having them in the foreground and movement in the background, that was actually pretty clever. I like that. All right, and then we get Kirk's big moment with this guy named Finnegan. And this is basically a bully, someone that is from Kirk's past. He had been telling McCoy this story of like being the butt end of jokes and being picked on, that kind of thing. And then out of nowhere, this guy just shows up and wants to pick a fight with him and actually attacks him, like gives him a little punch and it kind of like this thing. And then that's it. It kind of runs off and you have more shenanigans because the yeoman is now screaming. And we find the yeoman, her tunic is torn, McCoy's there, showing sensitivity and that kind of thing. I will say this too, maybe it's just me. I kind of feel like I want to watch the whole episode. Well, I'm not watching this episode again, but I feel like her makeup is very inconsistent. There's times where I notice like how much eyeshadow and makeup she has on. There's other times where I don't notice it at all. So I don't know the order of things were shot or how that was. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of got distracted by the amount of makeup she had on. So Kirk just kind of runs off. He's in this little desert area type thing and he finds this person. Yeah, it turns out that he finds this girl that turns out to be like this old flame, this old girl. He says beautiful flowers and all that. And then sure enough, yep, there she is. And it's like he doesn't quite know what to make of things as he talks to the Enterprise, but it's like she's real. She never aged and all that. And when they talk to the Enterprise, there's like really communication about what's going on. Don't bring anyone else down here. Put a halt to everything. Yet he's also so enamored with her. He's like the love, his youthful love is there manifesting again. Man, Kirk's already been with like a million chicks, and we're only like 15, 16 episodes into the thing. This is crazy. Quick shot of Spock, quick shot of Antenna, quick shot of McCoy bonding with the yeoman. She's talking about her fantasy of, I guess there was the Don Juan guy though, who she was thinking about at the time right before she was attacked. And it become this: I could be a princess, pretty princess, and be rescued. And that's what McCoy he said. I would do that. I'd rescue you. Anyway, she's changing clothes and she's going to emerge as this pretty princess. Then we have a tiger shot in these trees. He's allegedly face to face with the two random crewmen that we don't really care about. We come back to Kirk, who's even more skeptical and hesitant about putting his crew at risk. So that's kind of where they're trying to progress accordingly. And then there's an attack with Sulu. So Spock beams down. He kind of like basically puts together the field that's in the energy in the planet. It's sucking energy from the Enterprise. Again, I don't think they even addressed that at the end of the episode, why that's even happening, or was the ship at risk, or I don't know. There's a lot of things that just happen in this episode, and we just don't really go anywhere with them. And then you kind of like into this thing where they get split up, and then that's when you have McCoy and the princess. And McCoy, he gets run through by the night. Fortunately, Spock and Kirk show up, and they use that revolver that Sulu had to shoot the knight, but basically McCoy's dead. So everybody's trying to put things together, and this is when Spock analyzes things and realizes they're almost like wax or something. They're some sort of like they're not really humans. And then we get an airplane. So the show is just this discombobulated and disjointed, just bounces around, it pings from all these different things, which fits kind of the message of the thing, but you can tell this had to have been sort of like a rushed script or a script that was heavily modified, maybe because of production and budget limitations. But I feel like this wasn't the kind of thing where it was you write it and you sit on it, you mull on it, you come back and address it, you maybe a second set of eyes look at it. That kind of, I don't think so. This seems to me like the kind of thing that was just rushed through. So there's an airplane thing. They actually shoot at everybody. There's a lot of chasing and running around, and that's where you end up with Kirk versus Finnegan. And this goes on for quite a while with the Kirk versus Finnegan thing, which the best part that makes me laugh, of course, because we have to have it. There he is. He takes some bumps and bruises, but his shirt gets torn. We got to show his shirt every single episode. It's like every single episode. So it's kind of silly. I kind of laughed a lot because I'm like, he has to have a hot chick. He has to have his shirt half off. It's like, what is going on? And then later it gets resolved because the curator or orchestrator of this planet just shows up with this tunic on, and like Spock's like, "What is going on?" It's like, dude just shows up. And, oh, listen, I'm sorry. No one was meant to be in harm. It's okay. It's an amusement park. Your thoughts and your fantasies can come to life here. It's all safe. It's whatever. They don't address how that happens. None of that's really explained. McCoy's perfectly fine. They don't explain that either. He's with two hot chicks because when he woke up, he was thinking about these cabaret on this planet, and you're like, holy cow! It is such a menagerie of randomness. Like I said, I don't know what kind of drugs they were on, but I feel like they were somebody writing some drugs, and I feel like which happened first, right? The crazy person who wrote all this together, or they have these random things that are available to them for free, like the rabbit costume and these costumes and the knight and the horse, and like we'll write all that in because that's what we have available to us. I don't know. You guys will tell me what the order of things are. So that's my take on that. Or there was a quick moment at the end where one of the girls goes over to Spock and he's like not having it. There's sort of like we're gonna have everybody come down for a minute because Kirk wants to be with his hold flame, and it's sort of like fantasy stuff before they kind of leave off. All in all, a lot of loose ends that never get addressed. Don't explain how Bones was healed. Don't explain how things manifest. Don't explain. Don't explain. Don't explain. So this was a crazy weird episode on the heels of like the menagerie cheat episode where they took like the cage and they made it into 2 episodes. So I feel like, is this when the finances were really starting to hit them, or are they rushing through scripts that weren't quite ready? I don't quite know the timeline. This was just like an acid trip, man. This is a crazy bouillabaisse of stuff. Didn't feel like Star Trek in a lot of ways, but it is what it is. So that's my take on it. Love to hear from you guys, especially you diehards. Thank you for watching. I am Pops.